How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews. Back with a little bit of River Horse up in this piece in the form of their Gentle Giant. Yeah. This be a Imperial wheat wine with lemongrass and orange peel. Courtesy of my boy Joe. Joe from the old NEPA Beer Reviews. He was a brewer at River Horse. He's recently left there to be a brewer at Brotherton Brewing, but he brought this to Beer Tube Palooza. I think he actually gave this to Nerd Sense too, but finding time to review beers with those guys can be a little bit of a chore, so we're doing it ourselves. 8.2% alcohol by volume. That's a Beer Tube Palooza is like over 2 months ago. Come on now. Yeah. River Horse Brewing. I think this has a little bit of time on it, too. Like I said, he was working there. He doesn't work there anymore. And I kind of wanted something big. I don't have a ton of beer in my fridge to review right now. This has been sitting outside in the barn fridge and just kind of chomping at the bit. I want to dive into something. So a little bit of wheat wine, a little bit of lemongrass, a little bit of orange peel, 8.2% alcohol by volume. Gentle Giant. That's what the River Horse is, right? Hippos, hippopotamuses, and stuff. Like, well, it's what River Horse does. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm blown away by it. Date-wise, I don't think there's a date on the bottle. I can't see anything, but I think Joe said there's a little bit of time on this. Nothing too crazy. Beer-wise, definitely looks the part of a wheat wine, but you could also say it looks like 19 other things. You know, Saison, Belgian Triple, a bunch of different beers. You know, you're talking about Pinky Finger just underneath of like a weirdly, now that I swirled it, super tight compact bubbles that goes into this kind of weird soapy kind of neurotic kind of craziness and a soft little haze to it. So, yeah. Did they talk about the barrel on this? Actually, it's not barrel aged. I thought it was Imperial wheat wine with lemongrass and orange peel. For some reason, I thought there was barrel involved. I be wrong. Yeah, it's good nose. I mean, there's not a big, huge citrus note in here, but it comes off as this kind of cooking citrus. Like if you ever cook with like a lot of like citrus in like a lot of savory foods, like steaks, things like that, pork and even shellfish to a certain extent has that kind of citrusness to it, and that it's not coming off as just straight like juiciness or rich kind of citrus sweetness. It just has this kind of little bit extra to it that isn't overly acidic, basically. I'm not going to sit here and say it's a big, huge nose. Wheat wine wise, fine. It smells like a wheat wine, little caramel vibes, but on the lighter end of things that you'd expect from a wheat wine, it's kind of done and done there. So, not a huge nose, especially for the ABV of the beer. Soft citrus notes, a little bit of soft caramels. Let's dive in. Cheers. Yeah, I mean, this really does come off. Really does come off as like almost like a slightly more carameled version of the Belgian Triple. That's really how it comes off to me. You're gonna tell me there's like orange zest, lemon, all that kind of stuff in here. I can see that to a certain extent, and that the way it's coming off has this kind of brightness to it. The citrus portion of the show that you're not really going to get from, yeast. You're not going to get from hops. It does have this sprightly kind of acidic citrus thing going on, but it's not overly acidic. It's more just bright citrus, a little bit of pithiness. And on the other end of things, you have this kind of soft, washed out caramel thing that I typically get from a wheat wine, something with like a year or two on it, something along those lines. And that's pretty much it. Drink's a little bit lower than its weight class, especially for its ABV level, but it's not like criminally low or anything like that. It just comes off as like a cool combination of flavors, because it really is just Werther's Original Caramel, bright kind of zesty citrus, done and done. I'm just really curious to see what this tastes like in like a long haul setting, to see if like this would taste like with 10 to 15 years on it. Kind of curious to see where that would land. Yeah, it's not a bad beer by any stretch of imagination. It comes off missing something for me. Honestly, that's probably the biggest kind of takeaway I have on this beer is that, being a wheat wine, having these citrus kind of adjuncts kind of thrown at the beer, I expected there to be a little bit of kind of something going on, something a little bit unique. And while the flavor profile in and of itself isn't something you see all the time, I just wanted a little bit more to it. Something a little bit more kind of, something, a little bit of chutzpah, a little bit of pizzazz to it. Because it is a bigger beer. But it comes off nice, comes off tasty. There's nothing really complain about, but there's also the kind of lack of a little bit of showmanship. And that's kind of what I wanted from this beer. And it's kind of not really there. So, yeah. Soft little caramel vibes, bit of citrus. Nice little fun pairing. Not going to blow my doors off, but at the same time, tasty beer nonetheless. Is it one of the better wheat wines I've had as of late? It's worthy of being in a conversation. It's just not towards the top. Value availability on this, no idea. Joe or anybody in the River Horse universe, what did this cost when it originally came out? And leave you with if you like what we like this beer. If you like soft little barley wine vibes, but you also like a little bit of citrus in your life, you'll like this. So there you go. Review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Let me know if you had this too. Very important. Beer Massive for the podcasting stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of River Horse wheat winey vibes right now. We'll see you next time. Cheers.